We have another game that's going on around the same time. It features Arkansas versus Oklahoma State. Ollie Gordon at running back for Arkansas, or Ollie Gordon at running back for Oklahoma State, and then new quarterback Taylon Green for Arkansas, who gave fans a lot to be excited about for the season. A lot to look at and to dig in there. So, Hunter, man, you've been looking at Arkansas, you've been looking at Oklahoma State. Like, what you thinking?
You look at Oklahoma State, the first guy I think of right now is Ollie Gordon. Like you can't ignore it. The guy is on fire. Last season, over 1,600 yards carrying the ball, over 6 yards per carry. Last week, 3 touchdowns, only 3.9 yards per carry. And people are posting online like, did they slow him down a little bit? And that's all you can really hope to do with a guy like that is slow him down. Arkansas has the front, the guys up front on defense to do it. But you just hope to bottle him up. I think that Ollie Gordon is explosive, and the whole game plan for the Arkansas defense is going to be trying to figure out how to stop that guy running downfield.
Yeah, and I think what pairs well for Arkansas and what we talked about in the preview is that the defense is probably the least of their worries. It was more so what we're going to see on the offensive side. And we saw a very explosive performance with them with 70 points. Again, it was against Arkansas Pine Bluff, call it a tune-up game. But when you get a new transfer quarterback from a group of 5 team to the Power 4 level and you see, 4 or 5 touchdown performance, you should be excited. But defensively, the assignment has to be stopping Ollie Gordon. And last week, Travis Williams led defense. The defensive coordinator over at Arkansas only gave up about 130 yards for the whole game. And the bus were only Arkansas Pine Bluff was only able to convert on 1 first down out of 10. So, or 1 third down out of 10. So those stats, if they can be translated to Oklahoma State, obviously much more, much better team. Right? You got Alan Bowman, 7th year quarterback. I mean, this man's probably taking his PhD classes at this point. But if they can stop him, and as the doctor Alan Bowman himself, and slow down Ollie Gordon to where he's not averaging 6 yards a carry, maybe averaging 4. You get them in third down situations there, within 3 to 4 for third down. It's a completely different game. And so we'll see. Couple facts about the game. This is the first Power 4 matchup for both teams, like in terms of their schedule this season. Arkansas's last Big 12 win came in 2022 against Kansas in the Liberty Bowl with a 53-3 OT stunner. They've had a couple other Big 12 wins, technically, if you count BYU and Cincinnati back in their independent and AAC days. But always fun to watch these Southwestern Conference-esque matchups for our older listeners and tuned in college football listeners.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. And I don't want to only, harp on Ollie Gordon, and Mike Gundy didn't either. He was already, in a press conference after the game. He's like giving praise to Taylon Green and DeQuindon Jackson, was like, when you have guys like that back there, you have to have a guy on them. You have to have a guy for them. So I'm expecting to see some spy defense from Oklahoma State because they're going to try to contain Taylon Green to force him to pass out of the pocket. Last week, he was missing his number 1 receiver. This week, questionable. But we saw that he was still able to move the ball to the other receivers there. Isaac Tesla being one, and Tyrone Bolden, Broden, let's get his name right. But he was able to move the ball out of the pocket. So hopefully, we'll see Taylon Green be adaptable to whatever the Oklahoma State defense throws at him. I like the Arkansas team. I really do. But, we're looking at Oklahoma State as 7.5-point favorites.
Yeah, I mean, Vegas gets it right. Vegas gets it wrong, right? I'm not saying anything prolific there, but the 7.5-point favorites, I think, goes off of what we saw from this OK State team last year. They were able to pull off a 24-point win against San Diego State or South Dakota State. And that's a 2-time champion FCS team, right? Probably lost a good amount of players in the portal that made the jump to the FBS level. And they still are able to hang in these type of games with teams like Oklahoma State, who have 20 additional scholarships in them to offer to players. But bringing it back to Arkansas, this is the SEC. Taylon Green, if you watch the highlights, they scored 10 touchdowns. He looked like a combination of Cam Newton and Johnny Manziel out there, the way he was cutting between defenders and having big runs. And it gave you something exciting to look at. I'm a believer. I like looking at how that game went down. They do have to go to Boone Pickens Stadium. So that probably plays a role in the 7.5-point spread for Oklahoma State. Playing road games in college can change the lines tremendously, even for 2 evenly matched or 2 mismatched teams. So I'm rolling with the SEC. Woo pig suey. We're going Arkansas 28-21.
All right. I would love to see it. I would love to see it. I think we're going to see a shootout. Which team can score the most points? Give me Oklahoma State 38-27. I'm just looking for a good game, honestly, and looking for some showing from the SEC here.
Definitely. So I'm looking for the win. You're looking for a good game. I'm just kidding with you, but it should be a fun one.
Yeah, I'm happy for any good football. I mean,